Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Yes, I know you are out there and you are watching. I need to say a few things tonight. So give me a 5v5 to make sure you can see and hear me in the chat. Give me a 5v5. I'm Juicy and Lucy, English 54, Ace Jace, and everyone is out there. Just to let you know, I've seen a number of things, and basically today, I don't know whether it's true or not. It could be a complete rumour mill thing that there's some consideration that Sarah Palin is going over to restore Britain. Right? I've said if whatever happens, that's outrageous. If it does, bearing in mind the court cases, what happened, and to our group. But the second thing is tonight, I heard Charlie Downs, and he said we are committed unionists. And when he spoke, he didn't speak about England. He spoke about Northern Ireland again. Another person just talking about Northern Ireland, and he said Northern Ireland is just as much part of the United Kingdom as England. Bearing in mind that Northern Ireland became part of the United Kingdom in 1801, that England itself is a nation of 1100 years old, I do believe I have been conned yet again, right? I have now sent a message to Restore and said I'm out, I'm not interested. I've had people on Twitter say to me, "Oh, you're just going to keep doing it. You're never going to find anyone perfect." I'm not looking for anyone perfect. I'm just looking for someone who talks about fucking England. My honest and truth belief is the only way England's going to save itself is if England rises, the people of England rise, and there is no other way. You're never going to do it politically because they have control of the media, they have control of the software, they have control of alternative media. My personal opinion is the only way you're going to do it is highly targeted violence. And I do mean something by that, but I'm not going to say what I mean. You can't have a leader in that situation. You have to split off into cells, and you just do what you've got to do. But I've got to the point where I honestly believe anything to do with politics is a complete and utter waste of time. With referring to what we're doing. And when I say a waste of time, I mean a waste of resource, a waste of time, etc. I've now seen the Restore again tonight on a Twitter Spaces. Charlie Downs, he's not even mentioning England. He's doing exactly the same as Ben Habib is doing. All he wants to talk about is Northern Ireland. I want the people in Northern Ireland to understand something here, right? You're going to get fucking destroyed through unionism. So will England. Scotland is already gone. They just don't understand it because they've been conned. It is already a region of the EU. So is Northern Ireland. London's already gone. It's dead. It's finished. And if you want to save England and stop England being regionalised, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it with politics. And I'm not just saying it. It saddens me to say it, but the problem I've got, to someone who's just said to me, don't forget this is a public platform. They'll be listening to every word I say, right? You can't have a leadership. You can't be sitting there planning and plotting for what I'm talking about. This is where intelligent people understand what's got to be done and go out and do it. You can't have a leadership. But I'm telling you now, England is completely and utterly fucked, right? I'll go back to what I said about Jesuits. Most of the people involved with Restore are Catholic. I'm not talking about sectarian violence towards Catholic people. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that when you look at the Jesuits and you look out over the centuries, they have infiltrated. Why the English banished them? I have come to the firm conclusion that Restore Britain are no different to any of the others. Right? Anyone who is, and they're not even listening to the English. All they're doing is promoting the bollocks with Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. I have no doubt that they'll be referring to England as Britain, right? So I've come to that conclusion. I've sent them an email and said, "You ain't a bit of me." That's it. So I will be continuing with the shows. I don't know what it is we'll be talking about, but it certainly won't be politics in terms of any of these unionists. I'm not interested. And like I've already said, England's been a nation for 1100 years. For Charlie Downs, a 24-year-old, to stand there or to sit there or whatever he was doing on that basis and put Northern Ireland in effect first, go and fuck yourself. I'm not interested. That is the situation we're now in. So it is my firm belief that violence is the only way England is going to dig itself out of this fucking hole. And people should have read the second book by A.V. Dicey, where populism in terms of England is being suppressed, right? We haven't got a voice, and we're never going to have a voice. All of the time, we remain in a union that is controlled by Northern Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. A.V. Dicey and Sir William Wade, right, both said that Scotland is overrepresented in that British Parliament. And now we are truly fucked. So now everyone believes that Restore is the way forward, right? Not for the English, it's not. And I'm just telling you, the only positive I can come to conclusion with this audience is I will always have one thing that I believe in, and that's England. I'm not interested in the rest of it, right? So that is where I stand, and I do believe sincerely that the only way out of this is violence. And if you look at the violence that occurred in Northern Ireland, that's gonna be nothing. That was a kindergarten to what's got to happen in here. Some people have described it as a civil war. It is a war against the British and the Union and the Unionists, right? You need to firmly take a side with what I describe as loyalists. The people in Northern Ireland that are loyalists to King Billy, the Protestant religion, and the English Bill of Rights, they're the people I'm interested in, not the rest of it. That's it. So I've just told you exactly how I feel. I've just told you, and again, fuck it. There's nothing you can do. There is nothing you. They will not listen, and until they start seeing bad shit happen. Again, the British have always. I want people to listen to this because I'm being serious. They got defeated in Palestine, right? The Israelis bombed them, shot their troops, literally murdered their way into statehood. That's how Israel took Israel. They are a terrorist state, right? Because of the operation that they did. We meaning England, are a country under occupation. We have been for a very long time, and I can't see any other way of dealing with this. And it is highly disappointing that restore, reform have always been a unionist party, but restore, there's no difference. So the country that gets no representation whatsoever is England, yet again. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. And by the way, you as the English will be expected to pay for it all. All right, that's exactly what's happening. In Scotland, all of their university fees are paid by the English. All of their car parking at hospitals is paid by the English. They've got very little. They've still got high streets that work because you can park in them. Why? Because they get all their funding from the English. 250,000 of their jobs come from the English, right? Paid for by the English. Their administrative roles paid for by the English. It's obvious. If you've got a socialist nation where another nation has been enslaved and paying for everything that you've got, including all your social housing paid for by the English, right? All I'm saying to you is restore Britain. And again, people like Rupert Lowe are never going to watch this video, right? Charlie Downs never going to watch this. Connor is never going to watch this. These people are Catholic, right? And I am sure that this is Jesuit inspired. It cannot, but I've just had enough of it, right? Again, it's the English. We have no representation whatsoever. None. Zero, right? There isn't a single English member of parliament in that British parliament. That's it. So, what are you tell me your opinions? So again, I'm being honest with you. It is my opinion the only way you can deal with this is violence. They're not even listening. And I'll get back to the original subject. The only thing the British have ever took notice of is violence. All right, that Israel became Israel through violence against the British. Various places throughout the world, they've only ever listened to violence. The British have only ever listened to violence. It's their arrogance of the ruling classes, right? Look at what happened with the IRA. They only really took note, not when they was bombing our pubs and bombing English cities. By the way, I don't think they ever bombed a Scottish city. I don't think they ever bombed a Welsh city, but they bombed English cities and English people, right? But when they turned on the city of London and they bombed, if you want to call it the Square Mile, and they attempted to bomb Canary Wharf, right? That's when they took notice, and then the British had a deal. And who did they sell out? They sold out. The British sold out the Northern Irish, right? The Northern Irish Unionists got sold out first, and now they're selling out the Loyalists. So, for these people, especially, I never thought I would say this about that Charlie. I know he's only 24. Fuck that. I've had enough. June Slater said we are Civnats. Said who are Civnats? The English Constitution Party. June Slater is an idiot. Can restore be a stepping stone in the right direction? Rob Young, no. There is unless you set out on the right foot to give the English proper representation, no, is the answer. And what I heard on the Spaces, you can all go back and listen to the Spaces. The guy running the Spaces, I forget his name. will come up on my screen, I'm sure, if I press a button. He may even have the spaces still going. But yeah, no, I've had enough. I consider there is no other way. And then people need to, you can't have me encouraging you to do certain things. You just need to know what you got to do. It's as simple as that. And again, the British, you got full control. Let me see if I can find what spaces are out there. I think they've shut down the space that he was on. Let me have a look and see if he's out there. I'm trying to find it for you. But like I say, I've completely and utterly had enough of it. And if, which we know you've got, Elon Musk back in Restore, there is no representation for England whatsoever. So to me, it's the absolute end. I can't think of anything else. Someone is putting out, again, all these people that are putting this shit out there. Let me have a look and see what this is about. I am currently still in, I don't know how that's going to operate. I'll look at that in a couple of minutes. I feel like I've got a sore throat and I haven't. Let me have a look. So Andy the Gabby Cabby is sending this out there and saying it was a really great interview. I'm out, by the way. I don't want anything. I consider that the only way to get anyone moving forward on England is violence. I have completely and utterly given up. I'm not going back on it. I've given up completely with any form of politics. There's no point. So I am now sharing this. I don't know what it's going to say, but we can put it on there. Spread the word.
Want to see the country descend into a sort of Fabian catastrophe where injustices on the scale that the rape gang injustice has been happening. I just don't want to see that. So I'm there. If people don't want to vote for me, I'm happy to accept the fact that's not what they want, and they want more of what they've currently got. But if they want change, I think we genuinely offer them an opportunity to vote for a new political party, which we're going to have people from outside Parliament going into Parliament, people who've done things, people who've contributed to their communities. So I've now got to turn my attention to finding 649 other people and make sure they're on the electoral ballot paper at the next election, because I think that way we genuinely have a chance of restoring what used to be Britain, which is very much not Britain now.
So, I mean, there are so many things to talk about, aren't there? I would say the first thing is it is remarkable how many members the party has had in such a short period of time.
We went through 70,000 members yesterday.
I'm aware. I mean,
it's just quite staggering how people.
And I wonder how many of them members are English, thinking they're going to get represented and they're not.
People are supporting us, and I encourage them not only to support us, but to spread the word, because the media, as you know, blacked me out.
Of course.
GB News, who set themselves up as a sort of an impartial broadcaster, haven't had me on since Nigel politically assassinated me. I virtually never hear from the BBC. They didn't cover the rape gang inquiry at all. So I think people have got to now wake up and understand that it's not only the political parties that aren't serving them. the media isn't serving them.
Well, it's the system itself.
And the essence of a free, as you know, a free democracy is the media must act as the safeguard for the people in challenging the politicians. But the problem is they're all one big club. And part of the reason they cut me out is I'm not interested in going to have drinks with them and getting drunk in the bar late at night and doing all sorts of things that they think are okay. That's not what I want to do. I've got, I like to walk around my farm, look at my crops. I like to talk to people who work for me and work with me. And I've got better things to do than cruise around with a bunch of lightweights. So I think you can see it now. It's just so obvious. And if the people can't see it, then open your eyes, because it's there. It's there.
What's obvious to me is there is no representation for the English. Everyone's talking about Northern Ireland. Everyone's talking, with 1.5 million people. Everyone's talking about Scotland. Everyone's talking about Wales. And no fucker talks about England. Fuck it, I've had enough of it.
But unfortunately, for them, thanks to Elon Musk, and thanks to social media, and thanks to the free speech that he's basically now embedded, and Zuckerberg is following. So our following on Facebook's actually gone well through our following on X. So we've got our own platform. We're much bigger than most newspapers now. So I urge people, spread the word. This isn't going to happen if people don't want it. And if they want it, as I say, you can't rely on a small group of people to do this. Everybody's got to do some heavy lifting now. So everybody's got to challenge petty bureaucracy. Everyone's got to challenge, the rules, the regulations, all of the things that are oppressing us. Challenge it. Do not do it, of course, but do not allow these petty bureaucrats and these people who are supposed to be serving you. Don't allow them to push you around. They're your servant, not your master.
Well, this has always been Bertrand Russell's complaint about bureaucracy. The individual is at the mercy of a system that is supposed to serve him, but has no incentive to. Every time you walk into a bureaucrat's office, you're a problem that he wishes wasn't there. He's not bound by profits. He's not bound by productivity. He is, in fact, hampered by those things. And the second that you require something from the bureaucracy, the bureaucrat just wants you to go away. So this is all, and this is an old English complaint about bureaucracy. Actually, it's very well made by Bertrand Russell.
But I think what's changed, Carl, is that in days gone by, I think there was a vocational drive for people to go into public service.
Yes.
First of all, I think you had decent people who did try and serve, who did try and do their best. But the problem is that's all gone. And I think what's happened is, with the proliferation of the state, the proliferation of all the regulations and all the rules and all the things that tie us down and damage our quality of life, people have lost sight of what the state is there for. It is there to serve. That's its job. And the problem is, if you watch state getting out of control, as we've seen in the USSR, in the end it implodes because it becomes so inefficient that the only way to survive is to start lying to the state.
I've heard all this before from him. When he talks about the state is there to serve, what he's actually saying to people now, and I want everyone to listen to me, the English nation is there to serve the Northern Irish, the Welsh and the Scots. Because we had no representation. We are effectively slaves to them. Because Restore is not talking about England at all. They are putting right at the front 1.5 million people in Northern Ireland, right? They're going to lose the union. They're going to now create violence, right? Because Restore, in my opinion, was the last option before violence. It is obvious, right? There is no other way you're ever going to take back control of England.
And if people start lying to the state, then they get into the habit of lying. And once you get into the habit of lying, and this is actually what brought the USSR down more than anything, is that the only way to survive was to lie. Well, I don't want to live in a society like that. I want to live in a society where people are honest with each other. We can tell the truth. We aren't punished for telling the truth. But unfortunately, I think it was summed up the other day by a young kid, and they say out of the mouths of babes and sucklings. But he said to me, why is it that everybody who seems to work hard and do their best is punished, and everyone who seems to do nothing and not contribute is protected. I said to him, well, I think you're right, but I don't know the answer to that, because it seems like putting the cart before the horse. This whole thing's bonkers. And that's where we are. This was a kid. He could see it himself. So if he can see it, surely everybody else can see it. That's what we've got to change.
I mean, it's very clear that it must be that the villains are in charge.
I think we're probably in the hands of organised crime, Carl.
I agree. I mean, it has to be the people in charge of villains for the honest, hardworking people to be the ones who get punished. I mean, this is Solzhenitsyn's measure of what was a communist state, when law-abiding people are punished and criminals are set free.
Which we've got now, I think.
I mean, well, literally on day one, Keir Starmer opened the prisons, which is a typical communist tactic. So anyway, what I want to talk about, though, is the remarkable blooming of the Restore Britain movement and party in the last, what's it been, 6 days now?
We launched it on Friday in Great Yarmouth, fittingly, at the coldest venue I've ever been at. I was actually shivering while I was giving my speech. The heating, whether it was working or not, I don't know, but the east wind was cutting through the building, and it was so cold. I did actually contemplate speaking in my overcoat, but I decided that would have been discourteous. So it was so cold, but we got a huge turnout, and I thought we had to launch it in Great Yarmouth, really. That was the place to do it. And since then, we've had the...
Yeah. Now, remember, me and our members went there, right? As far as I can see, this geezer is taking a piss out of us. It's as simple as that. It's not a yes or no. It's like, I listened tonight to that Spaces. I listened to what they had to say. All they want to do is pan...
The most incredible support. We did a video on the farm, which took us 3 or 4 hours, and that seems to have gone viral around the world. I don't think it's probably just in Britain that we've got this malaise. I think this is something that obviously cuts across all Anglo-Saxon countries. So we've had people from, obviously, the Antipodes, we've had people from Canada, people from America. America particularly has gone, they've watched that video, which is where they called me an elderly gentleman on his farm. And we literally, I think we just spoke common sense. And I that's what my entire philosophy is founded on. And I think common sense is what we need the return of in spades. So if people agree, I'm going to try and give them an option. If they don't agree, I think we're in deep trouble if we don't get something new,
they can
new
vote
by
for the
29.
Greens. If they don't agree, they've got Zach Polanski.
We've got Zach Polanski. Well, good luck to them.
Yeah,
good luck.
exactly.
Good luck to them.
But what I found remarkable about...
Did he say if they don't agree, good luck to them? Carl Benjamin, just to make sure I'm clear on this, I've said it a number of times on this show, is a complete and utter prick, right? He's the man who cried on TV because he told a joke and he said one of the lefties, who would want to rape her? She's so ugly, right? And then he cried, apologising that he'd said that, right? This is a geezer that had to go to university to get a certificate to be a doctorate, to show a certificate from a university that he can think, right? That's who Carl Benjamin is. He is a complete and utter prick.
Is the speed and the nerve that this has touched, because there's actually quite an interesting comparison in Jeremy Corbyn's Your Party, because Jeremy Corbyn represents the sort of antipode of the right, that what we're doing here, in that it's a segment of, well, essentially communists in the country who...
There is nothing right-wing at all about Restore Britain or Lotus Eaters and his little crew. Nothing right-wing about them at all. The right are constitutionalists. If you look at the scale, they're constitutionalists. There is nothing constitutional about these people. They seek to destroy England.
Have a very popular figure in Jeremy Corbyn, and he launched his Your Party. I mean, it's been quite catastrophic in many ways. but we'll leave that to the side. But they very quickly got about 80,000 members, but that took them about a month to get to that stage. Whereas you've got 70,000 in the first week.
When we had some before, I mean, Restore Britain had a bedrock of supporters, but we've had, I mean, we were, for 2 or 3 days, we were putting on 10,000 a day.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely delighted. I feel humbled by the response, and I can assure people that we will do our very best. I mean, look, I've got a young team.
Yeah.
My grandmother had a saying, the young people, the older wise. Well, I provide.
Let me just say this to everyone, right? Most of those members are English, right? They live in England. They were born in England. They're English, and they're not represented.
The wisdom, but I've got a great young team who provide the ability, because I've come from the era, Carl, where when I was educated we had the Gestetner machine, and I'm now running to keep up with all this digital technology and AI and everything else. But we're just about holding our own. But I've got a great team, and their ability and their knowledge of the digital revolution eclipses mine. And without them, I don't think I would be able to do what I'm doing. But so I provide the wisdom and plot the course, and with their help, I hope we can do that for the British people. That's what we've got to try and do.
So I think a lot of people would be interested in understanding party structure, the the possibility of local branches, how they can get involved, how they can come and help.
Well, I think the most important thing, and I was working on this. Really, I've been working on it for the last couple of days since I've had a bit of time. It's parliamentary recess, although I was in court, which we can talk about on Tuesday, all day. So literally I was there all day, taking on the independent complaint and grievance scheme. So we can talk about that in a minute if you want. So my primary task now, and we have got lots of local councillors who want to defect to us, which some already have, some are talking to us. I think they can see what we're trying to do and embrace it. So I would encourage them. I mean, come to us. It may take us time because we are a small team. We are recruiting, but with recruitment comes risk. If you're not careful, you end up importing people who are trying to do you harm. So we have to be very careful with that. But I mean, on the local level, come to us. We've obviously got Great Yarmouth first, and I see this bottom-up approach from people taking control of their local councils, and the top-down approach, which to me is the most important thing, because if we don't get control of Parliament, it's very difficult to repeal what needs to be repealed, and it's very difficult. And I don't want to legislate, but if we have to legislate, that gives you the power to do it, and we need to control it. And you can see how powerful it is when Labour literally rammed through the most ludicrous statute. Yep. And there's really very little that you can do. When you go into the lobby that you're going to be voted down by 350 to 120 or whatever it is. It can be a different number, but they always win.
Yeah.
The job, first of all, I think, is to encourage people who've done something in their communities, who feel the same way as us, who are businessmen, who are doctors, who are scientists, who are people with expertise in the digital revolution, in cryptocurrency. Come forward, make yourselves known, and let's get a slate of 649 other people. I've said I'll stand in Great Yarmouth again, who share our vision, who want to change things for the British people for the better. That, to me, is the most important part of it. Meanwhile, those people who feel they can help locally, please do make yourselves known. Come and help us. If you are a local councillor, come and join us. You're very welcome to do that. And if you feel driven to help with this change, we need help. As I said, we are a small team. Yeah. You cannot expect, and this is often, I think, something the British people have done, is they love to comment. They've all got a view. A bit like when I was in football, everybody's got a view.
Yeah.
But actually, you put them in the seat where they've got to actually make the decisions. It's a lot more difficult than they think. So I think let's not just have a view.
Yes.
Let's all start doing some heavy lifting, because this isn't going to happen if a small group of people try and do this. This is only going to happen, and that's why I like the term movement. If a movement of people who want their country back, who don't feel they're being properly governed, decide they want change.
This is why I'm particularly interested in a local branch structure, because what I think is,
being honest with you, the only way the English, we're oppressed and suppressed. The only way we're ever going to be heard is if they are. If I said it, I'd probably end up locked up by the end of the week. It's obvious what I'm saying. And these people are not. They're not English. They're not for the English. They can all go and fuck themselves. When I say lost my support, I consider them to be primary targets. I think the only way people are going to take notice if bad things start happening in a big way, and I'll probably end up doing a fucking full life sentence because of these cunts, and no one out there, right? It'll just fade away, and everyone will ignore it as if it was nothing. You need people to start grafting properly, and I'm not just saying it because I'm pissed off. I've considered this for a fucking long time. That I don't consider politics. You're not going to get anywhere. I've already said reform £20 million from a foreigner who's a citizen of Thailand. The political system is fucked, and the English are slaves to the three other constituent nations who are all tiny in relation. The economy is England, right? And we haven't got any representation whatsoever, and we never will have. That's the point. This is going to get worse and worse. And the left are the people that have targeted the English to make sure we never have a voice, and I do mean never have a voice, and Restore are continuing with that. I'm not interested in it. That's it. Anyone got any comments on what I've said? Or if you want to go and watch that video, you can. Funky tattoos, prisoners are governed, still prisoners of the mother England. Let me see if I can bring up anything else on here. If anyone wants to see that video in full, it was Andy the Gabby Cabby that sent it to me. But I fucking completely had enough. I think the only way anyone's ever going to take notice is pure violence. It's the only way. And by the way, I also believe firmly this is an attack on Protestant England. Right? I've never been sectarian in my life, but it's fairly obvious. That's what it is. Laura's birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you. There you go, Laura. Just sung you up your birthday live on air. How's that? Disappointing to be overlooked when you're walking the right path. Let me have a look. It has to get the stage. Let me have a look. Any other questions on anything I've just said in the chat? Andrew's birthday. Oh, yeah. Andrew. Do you want to talk about Andrew, the nonce being arrested on his 66th birthday by 6 police officers at 6 a.m. The 666 has arrived, has it? I'm of the strong opinion, and I did say, how many people, let's talk about that for a little while, because I'm sure some of you are going to reckon, not that I'm gloating or anything, how many of you, when I went through the show and I said the reason why certain things have happened, and I said they've took his titles, they've moved him out of Windsor because the Constitution says you can't arrest him at Windsor Castle. You can't make any arrest at Windsor Castle. On sovereign land, you can't arrest someone. So, what do you all think of him being arrested at Sandringham in his own little cottage, which is technically not part of Sandringham, right? The so-called king saying, you know, justice, full course of justice, the law must take its course and all that bollocks, right? Just to let you know, just to make sure you understand what I'm saying, right? I think, thank you for the donation, bad boy. I just want everyone to understand this, right? I don't think anything's going to happen to Andrew at all. I think we're all being played as usual. He's been demoted because of the military tribunal. It's all a game. Jay Faulkner Court, hello. Let me have a look. Kuna Mum is going to drop Burnley. Who else is in there? Is Laura out there? Let's have a look. Graham, do you think the constitutional crisis is imminent? I think it's already here. I think it's gone beyond a constitutional crisis. I think the only thing you can do is extreme violence. And the worst thing is well, I can't even, that's what I mean. It's not, you can't even call on a conference to talk about it. I don't know. It's far worse than what people think. Will not. Did Andy Pandy's Teddy's grass him up? Yeah. I can show you something funny. I'm not sure how I can do this. Now, Graham, I'm watching you be very despondent, talking violence. If nothing else, let's make an illustrated book presenting the English Constitution to children and adults. No, I agree, and we're still doing that. I am of the firm belief, unfortunately, that violence is the only way. You're never going to get anywhere. Let me have a quick look at something. I need to put this in my own. Let me put this in there. Let's put that on there. Someone has just sent me a message. I've seen that. I will read it a little bit later. Right. This is the God's honest truth, right? I'm not lying to you. You'll have to take my word for it, but I am going to show you something here. It is on your screen as we speak. Can you all see that? And can you see what it is? Right? It is a toilet roll, right? And on the toilet roll is President Putin. I'm going to ask you all a question. Let me leave it on the screen a second, and I'll go to the other side. Whose bathroom and toilet do you think that is, and where do you think that toilet was? Where is it? I'm asking you the question, and this is the God's honest truth. I am not lying to you at all. This is, I will swear on everyone's lives that I know, this is the truth. Whose do you think that toilet roll? That toilet is Prince Andrew's, and it was at Windsor Castle, his residence at Windsor Castle. I can't tell you how or when I got this picture, but I can tell you it is absolute gospel that is the toilet roll that was in Prince Andrew's own toilet, and what you are looking at on the screen currently is his toilet, and that is the toilet roll with President Putin's face on it. So if Andrew hated President Putin that much to have his face on a toilet roll, I can assure you that Putin is probably one of the good guys, or is one of the good guys. I can't tell you how I know, but that. So what I am 100% telling you, that is Prince Andrew's own personal toilet. That is the resident, or was the residence, of Prince Andrew at Windsor Castle, now just called Andrew, and that is Andrew's toilet roll. Does everyone understand what I've just shown you? Ice Mice, that is the mop up for the front. No, and Andrew. Yeah. If that's Hope Putin, those bog rolls of Andrew, I think he's got a lot worse. Let me have a quick look. Stafford John, does Putin know about this? No, he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't. In fact, I think we should send it to him. And I am 100% sure he would know whether I'm telling you the truth. Well, Putin would know. I'll guarantee people have been Russian agents have been in Andrew's toilet and probably bugged his toilet seat. Ezra belongs to the res. Chuck money. That's what we need. More moles in the establishment. Andrew is just potty. And absolutely, that is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. He won't care. I wouldn't. No, but it gives you an indication of the mentality of these people. Not only that, the media tried to hit a Russian agent, nothing to do with. Yeah, anyone who tries to say that Russia's involved in any way with the British is bullshit. Anyway, let's get back to my main thing. Any other questions now I've shown you that? Putin said the vampires' ball is over in the West. Yep, he did say that. Middlesex man, yeah, get crafty as them. Boone Spate. And we know that he uses the centre. I don't know what that means. Gilbert. No, it's not the much. Graham Truism. Graham. Follow on X. You give me a follow on X. And that will be the end of us. I'm not going to be on Twitter with anything to do with Restore. It's all bollocks. In fact, I may go and delete my account as we speak. I don't want anything to do with Restore. Nothing whatsoever. Let me log out of that one. There is no point whatsoever being involved with Restore. They are not interested in the English whatsoever. It is shameful, but that is the coup. Next. And then what I'm going to do is get back in there. Go on there. These people are not interested in England, and the majority are Catholic. I mean, literally need a Protestant army to start rising in England. It's the only way we can take back our country. So, what am I going to do here? Nope. I need to somehow. Let me see if I can get to it. How do I get into that? I don't know. We're out of that now. Not interested in them people whatsoever. And even if they started to talk about England, all they're doing is conning people. They're doing a Tommy Robinson, just literally lying about people. Deactivate your account. Let me put it in there, and we're going to there. Deactivate. That's it. I am now off of that. Now what we're trying to do is log in. Going back to English exit. And again, we're not being promoted at all. Twitter and X. Grok has already told me, Grok, that we are anti civil union and therefore are not promoted on X. Grok has already told me that. So you've already got all that. Rupert Lowe is a coffin dodger and Charlie Downs is a wet behind the ears moron who both think they can leech the English. There you go. Absolutely truth. Liam Tufts has said foreign criminals to face justice in their own country. Back Brexit Ben lays out his re-immigration policy on a dozen with Liam Tufts, available now on YouTube and Spotify. Restore Britain. This is from Rupert Lowe 21 minutes ago. Restore Britain will put the safety and well-being of the British women ahead of those third world sex pests. They was English. Most of the people raped were English. I'm sick of the bollocks, and I'm sick of people telling fucking lies. They can all go and fuck themselves. That's it. I'm going back to my main screen. Any questions from anyone? He is funny. Doesn't care, baby. Just send you a few quid, Graham. Well done. I'll have to go. I don't even know if I can look and find out. I'll have to go back through my thing to see where that is. Dave Ballas, do you think this Iran saga is going to start World War III? I don't. I've said it, and I'll say it again and again. I don't trust any of them. I think it's all bollocks. But the main point of what we're talking about is it doesn't matter what the English say. We're being completely and utterly ignored. They're not interested in us at all. I think it's very sad, but that is the truth. I think the only way you're ever going to get anywhere is with violence. Let me go and... So I've got a number of idiots on here. Let's get rid of this geezer because he is a complete and utter prick. Block. I'll just block that one. And I don't now believe it's a mistake that they are considering Sarah Pouchin for Restore. So Restore's looking at accepting her as a member of Parliament, and she's coming across to them, even though everything that's happened with the case is all bollocks. Anyway, that's it. I just need to tell everyone what's going on. And I will be travelling tomorrow. I didn't travel today, but I will be, and my back is seriously playing up. That's it. Right, give Graham a follow on X. Thank you very much. I'm going to say good night. God bless. Not a massively long show, but we've got there and done it. Don't forget, sharing is caring. The more you share, the more you care. Don't forget to hit the like button. I will never surrender England, and especially not to the British. That's it. Don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution. These people are never going to accept that we've got a constitution. The only thing they'll ever understand is violence. That's it. Good night. God bless. Tiddly poo and all that.